Good morning, everyone. I know, I'm 37 seconds late, but it's my first one. All right. Okay, so what the heck is Elizabeth doing? Well, I talked with my wonderful, wonderful business partners over the weekend, and I've done a lot of AI writing over the last year and a half. A lot of half-started projects, partly because I have squirrel syndrome, and then also partly because AI just hasn't been at the level I've wanted it to be at, like in my dream of dreams of like getting stuff done. So that has left me with a lot of abandoned manuscripts. And also, as far as writing goes, before I did the FFA for many years, don't worry, I'm keeping an eye on the live. Like I got like a 5-minute, I get to talk for like a few minutes and then I got to get started working. But I just wanted to explain a little bit. When I first started writing fiction in 2010, it was a long slog. Took me a year to write a book. I was, working around a brand new baby and a stepson and alcoholic military husband and like moving and all those things, that you do in your late 20s. I literally published my first book sitting on the floor because our household goods had not arrived yet in September of 2011. After that, I didn't write another book until 2014. I worked as a book marketer and everything like that. In 2014 is when I had my blog going and I was posting chapters. And I have since realized that a big component of my writing ability is ta-da! I don't know. I'm sure some psychoanalysts can say it's because my spelling test never went up on the refrigerator because they were always hundreds, whatever. But I'm someone who's very motivated by external praise, external responsibility, external delivery. And it has to be real. It can't be fake. Like I am not able to give myself a deadline unless I just want to put something on the calendar that I will then ignore in the future. Ask me how many times I've lost pre-order ability. So deadlines for me have to be real deadlines. They have to be actual human people that I am accountable to. So that's where you come in. So apologies, but you have been roped into this accountability circle. Am I going to be able to post every morning? Heck no. Y'all know me by now. Consistency is not it doesn't energize me. It doesn't make me go like, man, I'm on 100-day streak. I get more excited about day 1 than I do about day 100. So some rules for this. My goal is to try to do 3 days a week, just 1 hour. Stacy and Steph are being fantastic. They do 2 hours every morning, Monday through Friday. And I am in awe of them. And I look up to them a great deal about that. So if I can get 3 days a week, I will be very happy. Also, I get to work on whatever project I want. Remember, I get very excited about day 1. So if you follow Clifton Strengths, one of my strengths is activator. I don't follow the Clifton Strengths like it's voodoo or it means I can't do other things. It's just about, I know I am most excited about the start of things. So one of the ways, one of my favorite YouTubers, Struthless, Struthless, talks about if you know yourself, you can play yourself. And that's what this whole experiment is. Elizabeth is going to play on her strengths. So let's get started. And the project that I'm doing is a project from way back, July of last year. I know, I can't believe it's been that long. I'm actually pulling out The Gentleman Is Mine. So that's what I'm going to get started on. Good morning, Stacy. I see you in the chat. I appreciate you supporting this little ta-da endeavor of mine. But I think we'll get some students and some members of the FFA. Oh, thank you. And Stacy, by the way, knows herself too. Like we've talked about this. This is why it's great to have people around surrounding you who have different strengths, because they can help you realize that the way you do it and the way they do it aren't necessarily the same, but you both are awesome and wonderful authors. And it can also help you figure out ways that work for you. So let's jump into it. I did do some work yesterday because I wanted to see where I was on it. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Yeah, I can share the whole Chrome tab window thing. I can do that whole thing. Yeah. And I think I'm going to do my face down in the lower bottom there. That way you guys get a little bit more. Okay. So how old is this freaking thing? So old. I'm zooming in so you guys can read it a little bit better. This is from the Write-a-thon, June 30th to July 2nd, y'all. And there's a lot of stuff here. Back then, I could only use pseudo-write, and like ChatGPT was rudimentary. I want to say ChatGPT 4 was out, but it was really expensive, and you had very limited, very limited messages per day. As a matter of fact, right here, I only had GPT-4 and Playground, GPT 16K 3.5. So I did take a look at my outline that I have here, and I don't love my outline. So the first thing I'm going to bring in is I'm going to just copy this outline right here. And I'm going to come over into raptorwrite. So I'm in raptorwrite. This has a different project loaded. Let me go ahead and load the project that I was working with yesterday. So I will go to the little box, load the project, and the gentleman is mine is right there. So I'll go ahead and load that project. Okay, so I was experimenting yesterday, and oh dear. Okay, I do have my jump cut for that. I actually experimented. I think it's gone. It's going to be gone, yeah, because I've reset since then. But I actually experimented with the AI marking up the OG chapter that it wrote and making it mark it up. So just to give you where we are, we have the story information, which is all of the characters and everything like that. I should probably break this out further, but I already had it as one big document. So I'm like, that's fine. It's 3,000 words. You can see in the lower right-hand corner. Okay. And then final act, scene 1, just so we can assess where we are at. So no cheating this morning. Okay, this one I went ahead and finalized yesterday. It does need like a final read through, but it's good enough for right now to keep going. So this is really like chapter 1. This is the problem. The whole outline is like borked. It's like got act 1, scene 1, act 1, scene 2. This is back from when AI did not know what the heck a chapter was. So that's going to be like the first thing I fixed this morning. So 43, 46. And then basically like chapter 2 I got through yesterday with all the edits as well. And that one is, you have to click and kind of wait a second. There we go. That one is 3,485, just so we get an idea of where we are in the story so far. And then 3, 4, and 5 are drafted. Act 1, scene 3 is at 1654. I'm writing this down so I can delete it at the end of our session today. 1792 and 1663. I was a busy bee yesterday, if you couldn't tell. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to toggle on scene 1. I'm going to toggle on scene 2. I'm going to toggle on the story information. And I'm going to come over to my settings and I'm going to configure my prompts. And I'm going to say, you are a writer's assistant. You help me make sense of a messy outline and story so far. Okay. So the continue prefix goes there. So I'm going to click save right here. And then I'm going to configure the prompts. I'm going to take out the continue prefix. I don't want that. I'm just going to use the system prompt. I know you can do this. It's dangerous with raptorwrite. If you want to know what raptorwrite is, you can go to raptorwrite.com and you can join the free class. If you want to know more about prompting, we have classes at the Future Fiction Academy on prompting for fiction specifically and on how to write a novella. Those are in our standalone classes. But I'm going to tell you the best value for the money is Lab. That's futurefictionacademy.com/trial. You get a 7-day free trial. Like after I do this at 10 o'clock this morning, we're doing a marketing boot camp. I mean, you can jump in. There's hundreds of classes in there. You get access to Rexy, which I will be using different times that I'm doing these writing sessions. And it's just for the value for money. I mean, you're talking about $40 a week. We have multiple members of the FFA who are writing multiple books a month and things like that. So if you watch me going as fast as I go this morning, understand that you too can learn how to be an AI ninja and just like think in AI. It takes a little bit of practice. It takes a couple of months to get up to speed, but we literally have people who have started like within the last 60 days. And they're just like, I am so much faster with AI now because of the specific training we have on AI prompting for fiction, which is a whole skill set. So I have all this information here, story information 1 and 2. I'm not going to worry about 3, 4, and 5 for right now. We'll deal with their messes later. And this is an original draft of Act 1, Scene 2. I just didn't want to lose because I'm a dragon. I don't like to lose words. So I'm going to go New Document. And I'm going to say, this is the outline revision. And I'm just going to treat this document like it's a chat. And I'm going to say, okay, everything above is what I've done so far on this story. However, I have the outline below, and I think it's choppy. Let's rewrite it so that it's chapters instead of scenes. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put this here. So there's the outline. Now, I don't actually need to toggle everything on right now because I'm just changing the format. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to highlight all of this right here, and I'm actually just going to click revise. So that's a right click, revise, and I'm going to say rewrite this. Oh, wait a minute. Let me close this out for just a second. I need to fix my AI settings. I'm going to actually use ChatGPT 4.0 because I just don't have time to deal with Mini. Sometimes is not the great, although Mini could actually handle this task. So I'll use Mini. It's cheaper. I'll click revise. I'm going to say rewrite this outline to change it to acts and chapters, not scenes. And the chapters should sequentially increase from 1. Submit. So I've highlighted all that. It's just going to rewrite it because I'm just being lazy. I don't feel like changing it. So here you see Act 1, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Cool. So we'll press equals. And now I'm going to say project, and I'm going to turn everything on that I wanted to know. I'm going to say everything above is what I've written so far. So come back to outline revision. Come on. Is what I've, instead of done, I'm going to say written so far on the story. I'm also going to change these so that now it knows that this is chapter 1 and this is chapter 2. Because I think this is, oh dear, I'm a little bit confused. Miss Bennett. This is supposed to be like the musical. And then that's what I thought. I've got like a bonus scene in here because I was like, I want more for the guys. So I'm going to actually cut this out. Control X, add a document, bring it up, paste it in. We're going to call this Act 1, Chapter 3. Yeah, I know. We're kind of like all over the place here. This is going to be, I think this is Act 1, revise Act 1, Scene 2. I don't remember what Act 1, Scene 2 is. So I'm going to come over to the prompt, to the original outline over here, and just figure out she's ill. She decides to flirt with Darcy. She finds an opportunity to talk and confront him. I don't think that's what I did. I think I did a night of music. I don't think that this outline matches at all with what I've written. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the AI figure this out because I am a little confused. So Act 1, and we'll call this Chapter 2. Oh, dear goodness. Chapter 2. And Act 1, Chapter 3. Or Chapter 1. Yeah. Act 1, Chapter 1. This is probably multiple chapters. I mean, this is what I should do, but I'm not gonna. I have to. Otherwise, we're just going to be all over the place. So this is where she's in the room. She stole away from her sister's slumber. I think this is where the break should be. So let's just do that. Control X. We will add another document. I can't wait till these automatically number themselves in the Pro version because this is kind of annoying. All I'm doing is fixing my chapterization right now, guys. Okay, so this goes before the fake chapter 2, and it's now the new chapter 2. Act 1, chapter 2, which means this one becomes 3, and 3 becomes 4. And now we have lots of more. All right, so there's that one. And can I see? This is chapter 3. Okay, but now it's chapter 4. Okay, so now I've got Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, or chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. And I'm going to say that I would love if I could hover on this, I could see the word count. I'm going to ask for that. On hover, see word count. Or something like that, because I really want to see the word count. It'll be a little bit faster. I'm going to turn on chapter 2. I'm going to turn on chapter 3 or chapter 4, come down to the revision. I'm going to say what I've done. Everything above is what I've written so far. However, I have the outline below and I think it's choppy. What I've written. Can you please help me by into Act 1 and keep the rest the same? Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, there we go. Take that out and let's go. Let's see if Minnie can do it. Minnie may not be able to do this because this is like more structured. So we have, they fall, they do this, then they're, no, it's not, it does not know what we're doing. It did not read what we have. And this is what I was talking about. Like, this is not, ChatGPT 4o Mini is just not the smartest. So what we're going to do, so it's like merging the chapters you've written so far. It did not do that thing. So let's go ahead and go with a different model. Let's go with 4o latest. And I'll do this again. Certainly here's the updated. So chapter 1, chapter 2. Okay, there we go. Chapter 3, she checks alone. It's got it. Chapter 4, no, wait, we have chapter 4. Okay, so it's basically not able to do 2 tasks at once is the problem. So I'm going to thumbs that down. And I'm going to say, this is a new feature. I'm going to continue here, but I'm going to say, can you please outline briefly chapters 1 through 4 that have been written. And because I'm going to press slash here as a continue, it's not going to have the stuff down below. So there we go. Chapter 2, the following day. Cool, cool, cool. Then we have the musical evening. And then they talk in the study, which is great. So now I thumbs up. And I'm going to say, draft written. And I'm just going to go ahead and box this up real fast. Draft written. Okay, now I'm just going to click revise. Oh, wait, without clicking revise, let's turn everything off because it doesn't need to know all that information. Because all the information's on the page. All I'm going to ask it to do is read what it summarized for the 4 and then the outline and be like, yo, reconcile these 2 things. Revise. Reconcile the draft written outline with the rest of the outline. You cannot change the draft written outline. It's already written. You can add scenes or add chapters to the other outline. You may not remove chapters, only renumber them. Okay, I think that's pretty clear instructions. Submit. Let's see what it does. Here's the revised outline. And I'm making sure I'm picking a model that can actually rewrite all of this, that it's able to write like 2,000 words. So it kept 1, 2, 3 revised from draft 3. Okay. So it wants, but where's when they talk? Why did you get rid of the talking? Okay, just no. All right, so here's how we do this. We'll just bring this in. Since I already know this is Act 1. And we already did all that stuff. So Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4. I'm going to delete the chapters that I've already written. So we'll try this. Please write 3 to 4 more chapters to resolve Jane as well. And the Burnett girls go home. And at some point, Elizabeth Bennet confronts. Oh, you know what? This is not going to work. Okay. So I'm just going to hold off on this for right now because I already know that I have these scenes kind of already done in a way. So this one is the men talking. So we'll take that out. I like it. And then I'm going to come down to Act 1, Scene 3, which is old Scene 3. This is when they went for a walk. Now, Jane is not with them. And I don't remember what the heck this says. So I'm just going to say, please summarize the above chapter because I don't remember what the heck it says. Okay, there we go. Hinting, oh yeah, they talked about the art and all of that. Is awake and asking for her, but why? I don't think this works at all. And I don't want to cut these words. Okay, so that's 1659. This is going to have to be chapter 5 for right now. I should really make notes. Okay, Elizabeth, you're like 25 minutes into it. Let me see the chat, just seeing if anybody's there. Oh, hello, Electric Outcast. Welcome, welcome. That was chapter 5. Scene 4 is going to be chapter 6. Come on, Act 1, Scene 4. This is where after tea. But there has to be a... Okay. Act 1, chapter 6. Okay, and then this one is Act 1, Chapter 7. I've got a new methodology that I'm going to attack with this. This is the library confrontation. Oh, and story information. I know what I want to do. proposed outline, actual story might deviate upon writing. Just got to give yourself, the ability to deviate there. Okay, so we have that. All right, so I have Act 1. Oh, I forgot to make this Chapter 7. That was my bad. Act 1, Chapter 7. So I have 7 chapters now. That was kind of cool. I don't think I need this. This is like old scene 2, 2156, and I don't even remember what this aligns with. So I'm just going to go to Chapter 7 and then right click and delete that document. Okay. All right. Act 1, Scene 1, end. Make sure there's nothing there. Okay. So now I'm going to do a new document because I'm not done with that outline revision aspect of it. And we're just going to have it read this, like look at the chapters as they're written. We're just going to treat it like a chat. Again, everything's a chat. Make sure my AI is the good one. Without 4 O's, cool. And I'm going to say story analysis. Please read Act 1, chapters 1 through 7, and make a report of chapters that could go in between to smooth out the story and timeline. Okay, that's all I'm asking. It's got to tell me like what chapters go where and what else I need to write. Clearly. Okay, chapter 1. So it's analyzing it. Propose additional chapters. Post 1, chapter 1, chapter 2. Jane is sick, so no on that one. Okay. Smooth out. All right, I'm going to thumbs it up and see which ones I like. So chapter 1A is definitely a no. We don't need more introspective moments. I probably should have said with more action and character interaction. Social tension. Okay. Transition between Elizabeth's observations in the drawing room. Build more tension in the household leading up to the awkward dynamics. I don't dislike this. Yes. Okay. I do actually want that chapter. Bridge the gap and the following day's country walk. Explore the aftermath of the talk and how it affects the behavior. No, I don't want that. I don't like that at all. I mean, that's not how he's going to do this. I think if anything, he'd be writing letters, and yeah, I don't like this at all. This is not good. Thoughts from Elizabeth on her return to Jane. Okay, consider. No, there's too much pondering. Way too much pondering. Okay, so we're just going to run this again, and I'm going to give it instructions. Characters should not ponder, but only take action and interact with other characters. We are focused on showing characterization, not telling about it. Okay, let's try that again. Great job. Okay, thanks. Proposed additional scene. Mr. Collins' letter. That hasn't happened yet. No, they're not going to go to Meriton either. No, I don't like that one either. 6 and 7, the precarious dance. No, they're not. Jane is sick. AI, you're dumb. This is why it's dumb. Darcy returns to his wing. He accidentally overhears this conversation. Okay. So this is just my job. So here's what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to do the work. Summarize chapters 1 through 7 for me. Motivation and plot events. Okay. So summarize chapters 1 through 7 for me with characters present in the chapter, their status and motivation for plot events. Okay, so there we go. How much is all of this costing me? While that's running, I'll go over to Open Router. Go to Activity. Activity. We've spent 50 cents so far. So yeah, ChatGPT 4.0, because I'm sending it a lot of information, sometimes as much as 21,000 words. And 21,000 tokens, rather. Woo, not 21,000 words. Oh, because I'm sending the story information as well. I don't need to send the story information, probably. Okay. I'm going to press equals. We're going to turn off story information. We're going to turn them all off, and that way I can start playing with this. Okay. So chapter 1, chapter 2, plot events. Darcy attends an outing in the library. Playful banter. Yep, we have that. Okay. She outshines. I feel like there needs to be more here. So I'm just going to highlight 3 and 2 and right click. Can you propose 3 scene ideas? Oh, wait, clear instructions. No, go away. I'm going to toggle on story analysis for right now, just so that it has that information. Chapter 1 and chapter 2. So between 2 and 3 is where I want information at. Revise, but it'll have the whole context of the thing. Can you propose 3 possible scenes that could happen between 2 and 3, chapters 2 and 3? Show Bingley, Darcy, and Louisa breakfast, and perhaps Mr. Darcy pointing out subtly that Miss Bingley has not been attending to her guests, and he had to speak to the kitchens to make sure trays were taken to the Bennett sisters. This could be in response to Caroline boasting how she loves running large homes and loves that her brother Charles. Okay, basically I just figured out what the scene is, so this is my fault. This is what happens when I prompt the AI. I'm like, oh, I know what I want to do. So I'm going to Control X this and cancel this. So I don't need to do that, because all I need to do is go chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, add a document, put it, we don't need story analysis. Bring this here. And I'm going to say plan oopsies, not moderate. a new chapter 3 here that has Bingley and Darcy and Caroline and Louise at breakfast. Yeah. Loves that her brother Charles asked her to run Netherfield Park. The scene, the chapter, should also be an attempt by Louisa to subtly hint that Caroline would be a perfect wife for a country gentleman. This is a comical scene, and Mr. Bingley should be diverted about concern for Jane. Okay, yeah, so I just wanted to plan a new chapter 3. So that's what it's going to do. So it's going to plan that, and it knows the chapters before it and after it. That's what's toggled on. So it understands chapter 1, 2, 3. And I said, hey, you're going to plan a new chapter 3. And actually it just wrote a new chapter 3, which that's kind of cool. I'll fix the late morning sun later. Okay, so let's see here. Though it seemed lacking in energy this particular morning, the guests, it seemed, were still abed. Strong tea. He detected a hint of frostiness. Oh, it thinks that the musical triumph happened earlier. So I should actually turn chapter 3 off and I'm going to run it again. So I can preview the prompt. Chapter 2, close. Okay. So I'm actually going to just thumbs it down. And now we'll run it again. So it only has chapter 1, chapter 2. Act 1, chapter 3, breakfast. The art of subtlety, or lack thereof. Okay? I must check on Miss Bennett. Okay. So we can say yes on that. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and I can't bring myself to do it. I can't be destructive. Plan for new chapter 3 is what I'm going to call this. And I will duplicate it just in case I need it later. I don't know why. I can't get rid of words. Okay, 9:10. I've got 20 minutes, Elizabeth. Okay, so we have the plan for new chapter 3. This is going to be the new chapter 3. And I'm going to highlight all this. And I'm going to turn on the story information. And I'm going to highlight it all. And I'm going to say, revise. Following this plan, third person omniscient from Mr. Darcy, or third person limited view, Mr. Darcy's point of view. Make it funny. Submit. This is the destructive writing. So we are at 10,000 words, so we'll see how many words it writes. Oh, the sun is spilling its golden warmth now. My gosh, that sun gets around. Let me check the chat real fast. Okay. Going to be testing the app. So do you put everything in one page or make separate pages? Yeah, no, I didn't know there was going to be a live today this morning either, Harper. I'm just trying to do ta-da to get writing done. I'll be working till about 9:30, and then I'll see you guys all at Meerkat Marketing Boot Camp for the lab for Future Fiction Academy. Good morning, Nicholas. Just saw this. Yeah. I will attempt to be here again tomorrow morning at 8:30. That's the goal. Might be a little bit late, but I'm going to make it a shot. I'm going to give it a shot. Okay. So This wrote 2374. We have the information here. I'm actually going to do this new methodology where I right click and I go keep all because I don't like to lose words. No, I'll delete it out once I'm done evaluating it. So let me read through it. Usually I read as I go. We're going to just toggle off. Let's change the AI to average. Yeah, because I've got like 120. Revise. No, son. Do a more original. Start with dialogue between characters. Go. Stupid son. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Better. No son. You're not eating, Bingley, Darcy commented. Okay. Bingley glanced up. Guilt. I suppose not. Her health, I mean. Charles, honestly, you're worrying yourself to no end over nothing. The doctor assured us. Mr. Jones. He's not a doctor, he's an apothecary. But you know, it's 1811. But she still took a chill. Okay, so that's a new line. AI, you can't have a character starting with action and then a different character talk. It's a new paragraph. She'll recover. You, on the other hand, will make yourself ill if you continue on like this. You must learn to temper your care. There's little we can do beyond what has already been done. Have faith in her strength. No more, I suppose you're right. You get one, suppose you're right. Okay, so actually I like this. Yes. And he would not call her Jane because they are not that familiar. It is Miss Bennet. Is remarkably strong. I have observed. Mm-hmm. And healthy. Charles, do settle yourself. Okay, so now it's just like looping. Louisa Hurst. Mrs. Hurst only graced their presence with her presence. And some mornings, she just as easily took a tray in her room. Good morning. Do they say good morning in 1811? I don't know. Did they say good morning in 1811? How long? Okay, for 1,000 years. Okay. I still think good morning's kind of like just a throwaway dialogue. This is what the AI goes. Did everyone sleep well? Splendidly. There we go. Yeah, that see how that elevates the dialogue a little bit? It's not good morning, good morning, good morning, bonjour. I have like that song from Beauty and the Beast in my head. Caroline, seizing the moment, began her practiced discourse on the virtues of marriage. No. The Bennet sisters. Yes. When I was informed last night that they had not received trays for dinner, I took the liberty of instructing the kitchen staff. I trust you would approve, Miss Bingley. Wouldn't you agree? Well, one can never be too vigilant. Actually, I think Caroline would lie and be like, the staff, like blame it on the staff. Okay, so there was more here. I'm going to highlight this. So that's 497 tokens. So my output probably needs to be about 1024. I'm going to revise it, and I'm going to say expand this so Caroline talks specifically about the household annoying her brother Charles. When Mr. Darcy inquires, like he does, about the trays for the Miss Bennets, for the Bennet sisters, Caroline lies and insinuates that the staff, being a leased estate, are not loyal to her and have deliberately been insubordinate at many a turn. The kitchen staff must have ignored her direction. Mr. Darcy doesn't buy it, but lets it go. Okay, so that's how we're going to expand that information there. Charles was quite right. Seems every common servant we've inherited with this estate does their utmost test to miss my. Just last week I gave explicit instructions for the linens in Charles's room to be changed every morning, and wouldn't you know, the housemaid forgot on 2 separate occasions. Don't even get me started on the footmen. They seem to be deliberately clumsy whenever I happen to be passing by. Took a sip from his teacup. And it seems to me would be to see to the welfare of its occupants, Miss Bennet and her sister. The Bennet sisters? Yes. When I was informed last night they had not received trays for dinner, I took the liberty of instructing the kitchen staff to prepare something immediately. I trust you would approve, Miss Bingley. How thoughtful of you, Mr. Darcy. That must have been one of the kitchen staff's deliberate oversights. Sometimes I think they do this intentionally. Being from a leased estate, they're not as loyal to us as they ought to be. Indeed, it's inevitable, it's certain, but she manages with such grace. Okay, yeah, I like it. Equals, it replaces it. Bingley, who had been half listening. I must see Miss Bennet. Did Mr. Jones say anything else? Is there any additional care? Remain the same. Your visit may do her good, but not if you continue to hover over her so anxiously. Then off I go. Better to be near, I think, than wonder how she's faring. Honestly, Charles is so attentive. One must think it's he who's the one who's doing well. You mustn't worry, Caroline. Charles's dedication is part of his charm. But as we were discussing, it takes a different kind of focus to maintain a household of size. Don't you agree? That would have made a less discerning gentleman nod in agreement without catching the implication. However, Darcy was hardly less discerning. Order and serenity are a great value, though one must also account for human compassion. Ensuring comfort, truly seeing to the needs of others requires a certain dedication. That kind of responsibility is what I admire most. Well, a bit easier. There's a rightness to balance. This is so... Okay, I don't like this. This is a little too... a little too highbrow. After Miss Bingley, after Caroline and Mrs. Hurst can get nothing from Mr. Darcy, they start making plans for their diversions. Mr. Darcy excuses himself from the table and heads to his where he runs into Elizabeth and inquires as to Miss Bennet's circumstances. Elizabeth, taken aback, tells Mr. Darcy Jane is quite well and has not shown fever since last night. Mr. Darcy thanks her and bows, then takes himself to his room where he begins a short letter to Mr. Bennet, wishing him well and updating him on his daughter's condition. Aw, showing Mr. Darcy is so sweet. Okay, I like this information. Control C and submit. So yeah, we're going to change all that. Here's a revised passage. Okay. Yes, balance is key. Leaving himself. It didn't do any of the rest of it. And that's why I copied it. So I'm going to go, yes. No, he's not stepping into the thing. We're going to take all that out. And okay. So I'm going to put in here what I wrote. Oh, and we're almost out of time. So I'm just putting this in, making sure I don't have anything turned on. Oh, and I don't have my continue settings in. I forgot about that. I changed my prompt. Okay, so I'll turn this on. Where are we? We are in plan for new chapter 3. Oh, I don't know which one. So we'll just go new chapter 3. New chapter 3. Okay, good. It's that one. We'll turn on the document. I'll go up top here. I'm going to delete all the stuff out that I don't want because I thought that was kind of cool. Toggle it off because it's not on the prompt. Toggle it back on. Now it is in the prompt. We are at 1368. So this is perfect. And I can highlight this and click revise. Click that out and click submit. Oh, it's going to rewrite the whole damn chapter. Charles, honestly. No. So thumbs it down. Let me see what I've got settings here. I've got 1024. Rest of the chapter and include dialogue and interaction between characters. There we go. So now it knows just to kind of change that. Okay. After he excuses himself from the table. There we go. So now it's got us together. Miss Elizabeth, I trust Miss Bennet is recovering well. That is most fortunate. Oh, I love this. Okay, yeah. Equals. Go, go, go. Perfect. Okay, so we take this out. Boop, 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 boop. He good here. Though he merged the victor. Unlike the hollow words, it seemed that his friend was deeply affected by her. Pulled. Why are you pulling? Why are you active tense? Pulled. Looking ahead down the hallway, he noticed a familiar figure. Okay, we only get one soft. Yeah, no. We're not going to jump out of his musings. There was a quiet intensity. Miss Elizabeth, I trust Miss Bennet is recovering well. Mr. Darcy, I am pleased to report that Jane is indeed recovering. That is most fortunate. As your brother, as Mr. Bingley observed to me earlier. And I am certain your attentive care played no small part. Very small. You're very kind, Mr. Darcy. I believe that Jane would recover almost anywhere, given her fortitude, but it's true that her spirits are buoyed by familiar care. Yes, I imagine it is of great. I shall refrain from further intruding upon your morning. Miss Elizabeth, please do convey my continued best wishes for your sister's health. Yep. Cool. All right. The more he thought to maintain his detachment. Okay. And it's November 12th. I think it's like November. I don't know. We'll do November 3rd. I hope this letter finds you. I write to assure you that your daughter, Miss Jane Bennet, is showing remarked improvement. She has not suffered a fever since last night. Okay, cool. And settings and configure prompts and reset because I just want it to continue. Close. Project will turn on chapter 1 and chapter 2. So it knows that we have those, and then we're in chapter 3. We don't need to turn on chapter 3 for a continuation. Coming down here, I just want it to finish. So we'll bring this down. We'll leave it at 1024. We'll see what it does. Space, and we'll see if it just finishes up. Focus, Darcy. He's drinking wine. No. Okay, so there's Bingley. Oh, and it remembered. Okay, so this is all kinds of weirdness. So I'm going to thumb it up, and then I'm going to take off the stuff that I don't want. And I think that's going to end our hour. And we got a lot of words. So rose from his seat. Mr. Darcy said, no, we're not going to do all that. Refused. He's not going to drink wine. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. There we go. And I'm going to highlight this and just click a quick revise and say, add in Mr. Darcy talking to his valet and seeing that the message is dispatched without delay to Longbourn, just as the others had been. Submit. No. Stop. This is my bad. Thumbs down. No. Delete that because it should be in the sticky revision. I don't need chapter 1 and I don't need chapter 2 for this. So we're just going to highlight this and click revise, and it's still there, and click submit. I like that he blotted the ink. Okay, keep all. Delete this. He carefully blotted the ink. Okay. You can't blot the ink after the ballet leaves. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, I know we're 5 minutes over, but I talked for 5 minutes. So underlying urgency did not go noticed. Sealing the letter. Yeah, I don't like any of this. Probably a waste of things. I'm going to come down to 512, and I'm just going to say revise. Actual dialogue. Just as the others. Okay, submit. So just fix that so there's dialogue. Johnson. Of course. Sure. We'll keep both. Carefully blotted the ink. Okay, so we don't need this. Johnson. Let's go with Nixon. Of course, sir. Oh, that's so funny, Elizabeth. Johnson and Nixon. Let's change his name all together. We'll go with Cadwell for right now. I'll change it later, but man, sometimes the things that come to your mind. Okay, 933, and then we'll take a look at what we've got. Taking the letter with a nod. It will be taken there with the same care as the others. But Cadwell noticed. Anything else, sir? Darcy waved him off. With a swift bow, the valet departed, carrying out his order. Oh. We're not going to leave Darcy to reflect. Gee, Rusifit. Okay. We'll put this up here. Sealing the letter. Okay, there we go. We're done. 2,336. So I'll check the chat. So I got this entire chapter 3 done. Not great for 1 hour's work, but we did a lot of work on like trying to figure out what the heck. Act 1, chapter 3. Go to the project. This goes down here. So now this one is chapter 4. And this one is chapter 5. Oh, no. The other one, chapter 4. Okay, you know what? We're going to go backwards because I know. So I know like this one is 8. That way I won't have duplicates. We definitely have to work on this numbering system in the pro version, which we will be. We'll be making sure that there's like a wild card. And then this one is 6. Oh, no, I did it the wrong way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah. So 5 is now 6. 4 is now 5. Oh, this is confusing. And then the last thing I'm going to do before I hop over into Zoom for the marketing meeting. Come on. Thank you. Is save. Always save. Save the project. And then in settings, I'm going to back up my projects. Yes, yes, yes. Raptor backup to my iCloud drive so I can always access it on my there's a thing, a laptop. That's what it is. So it's 826 then this is from raptorwrite rather than like baby raptorwrite. Then I'll answer some questions. Save. And then the last thing I will do is I will download the story as a .doc. The whole story, I know, it's nuts. Because that way I can just go ahead and easily delete things. Oh, wait, actually, if I download all the docs as .doc, it'll put the word counts on them. So I will download story information. Yep. I am just saving these. There is a bug with saving the individual documents that you have to re-click the folder that it's going to. At least on my Mac and Chrome, there is. But some computers are not having that issue. It's kind of like whatever your thing has. Story analysis doesn't matter. I'll show you why I did that. Because now, when I share, let me go to Window and go to StreamYard. We're going to see where we're at. Good morning, Steph. Sorry, everyone. I missed your messages there. I'm almost done. I'm going to remove this from the screen, and I'm going to open up my Finder so you guys can see on my iCloud drive. Very cool. Okay, so iCloud drive here, and then I have to go to raptorwrite. Gentleman is mine. Oh, no, it's backups. That's what I did. There we go. Okay, so now I can stop the screen share and I can present just that one. Share the screen and I'll share just the window there. Okay, so what I love about this is you guys can see all the different files that I have, and Joseph has it set up to where every time, I don't know where my phone is. Oh, there it is, because I need a calculator. It's too early in the morning. Okay, calculator. So originally, before I got started this morning, 4346 plus 3485 plus 1654 plus 1792 plus 1663. I had 12,940 words on this story to start off with. Now I can add up chapter 1 through 8. So now it's 1904 plus 2311 plus 2274 plus 1493. I can already see where I need to add more words, probably tomorrow morning. 1790 plus 1617 plus 1747 plus 1612. We are at 14,748. If I subtract where we were, grand total, I added 1808. Not the greatest for an hour, but I'm going to go with it. So I don't know exactly where we lost words, but I'll figure that out later. All in all, I'm pretty happy that number one, I showed up to the chair. Number two, I did some like analysis to figure out what could happen. I had a lot of failures, actually. You guys saw how my prompting just like did not work a little bit. Good morning, Ikello. So if you rewatch this, I want you to see that it's a skill set. Prompting with AI is a skill set. How was I able to fix my prompt on the fly and understand, oh, Elizabeth, you're asking me to try to do 2 tasks at once and I can only do 1. This is all research we've been doing over the last year in the Future Fiction Academy. So I have to jet because I have to go run a marketing boot camp. Marketing boot camps and writing with AI and cool software and tools and stuff sounds exciting to you. Come join us in the Future Fiction Academy, futurefictionacademy.com/trial, or go to raptorwrite.com and the free classes are there. We have another free class too that Leland just made just on raptorwrite. Raptorwrite is an alpha, so you'll see, you may have saw some hinky things going on there. We won't have a stable version probably for another week or 2. So we're still working on that. It does work in your browser. It can be a little slow to load the documents, but it's not really designed for you to like put your, like, it's not really designed to be your final writing tool. It's really just designed to make it easy for you to prompt and like do mega prompting and stuff, and then take your stuff and take it somewhere else. You notice I went ahead and downloaded all the .docs. So, all right. So join me tomorrow morning at around 8:30ish Eastern time, or maybe I'll get a wild hair and write tonight too. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll be this afternoon. I don't know. So these are just going to be catch as catch can. Thank you so much for everybody who came. And I'm sure some of you I will see over in the lab room for Meerkat Marketing. Bye.